What's up? It's your boy Donovan, and in Art Vlog 27, we're going to be wrapping up a couple projects for my summer classes. First up, I'm going to show you the finished piece of the last isometric illustration that I did for my digital illustration class. Remember that white cube that was supposed to be a photocopier? Well, in this art vlog, you're going to see it actually start to look like what it's supposed to be. I, of course, had to look at some photos for reference, so you're going to see me switching back and forth between Google and Illustrator. But I am really happy how this turned out. And really, the whole illustration was just so fun. I feel like I'm starting to really get the hang of isometric perspective, and it's an illustration style I want to keep working on in the future. So here's that finished illustration. Again, this is an office. So for my next assignment for my graphic design class, we were tasked with redesigning a book cover of a book that we've already read before. Now, the book I chose was called The Woman in the Wall by Patrice Kendall. And it was one of my favorites when I was, I would say like a preteen. But I did recently purchase the book again so I could just make sure I keep it in my collection. I just feel like it was very formative for me. The first thing I did was go into Procreate on my iPad and sketch up a few concepts for the book cover redesign. So that's what you see me doing here. These are all just quick little thumbnails with first ideas that kind of popped into my head. Some of them are multiple takes on the same concept, so they'll look a little similar, but not exactly the same. I did a lot of thumbnails. I think I did at least between 12 and 16 of them. I had a lot of ideas that came to mind. I wanted to make sure I gave myself a lot of options, because once you start working in Illustrator, if you don't like what you're doing, or at least for me, if I don't like what I'm doing, I get really annoyed. All right, now before we move into Illustrator, I did go back to Google to look at some Matisse inspiration because I really have always enjoyed Matisse's cutouts. And I'm using that as my inspiration for the art style now that we're moving into Illustrator. This first design that I'm showing you is rather simple, but in my opinion, it's very effective. It's a little bit creepy. It's very mysterious. It's interesting visually because of the high contrast, and because of this design choice, the book cover could be really any color, so long as that one half stays black. The next concept is similar but different. We're gonna have somebody peeking through a hole in the wall once again. The first one was kind of like someone peeking around a wall. This one is more so like someone peeking through a wall. Some of my first ideas were to add like a wallpaper design. Tried a couple things, didn't really like how that turned out. So instead of doing an interior wall, I switched over to something more like an exterior wall, and I put a brick pattern on this one. I'm also really letting the text speak for that cover rather than the illustration. And in this last one, I'm just doing a simplified version of the original book cover, which just has a woman kind of in brown with this like very basic background that she's sort of fading into. And these are my finished book covers. Let me know down below which one is your favorite. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Boy Donovan, and I will see you next week. Bye.